Good evening, everyone. Last week I had a little holiday, but I think Xuan was teaching pranayama, a breathing technique, and you also had the chance to sit with her. And actually, this month I will take another time off. That will be on the 30th. So if you want to sit with Xuan again, in 3 weeks is another opportunity to do breathing exercise and meditation with Xuan. Today we are back to Zen and Zazen, and as always, I would like to invite you to first sit half an hour with me, and then I will talk a little, and we can discuss as always.
然后幕后老师可能这个月最后一节课，我们还是上呼吸法和坐禅的课。今天还是先坐禅30分钟，然后我们在一块儿今天读《To You》那本书，就是我昨天晚上把那文章发给大家了哈。今天我们分析那个。
So let's start with the Zen meditation, Zazen. I always start with swinging the upper body left and right. That helps the body to find its center. And it helps you also to get out of your head and lower your center. Using a metaphor, it feels a little bit like a boat that's drifting at the surface of the ocean. But while you're moving your upper body, it's like you would lower the anchor from that boat. And at some point, the anchor hits the bottom of the ocean. And even though the waves are still moving the boat, you find stability. It helps you to get grounded.
我们可以先左右晃一晃，找到身体的重心，然后就好像是在海面上一样，那个船在海面上一样，但是你的锚要扎在海底下，就是你要有重心在下面，上面虽然有可能在一直晃，但是重心的那个锚要扎在海底下。
Once your posture is grounded, you might want to check that your spine is stretching, your neck is straight. You lower the eyes a little bit. You can also close the eyes, but normally in Zen you keep them half open. And you open your mind for everything that's appearing right now. So the things that you can see in front of you, the sounds that you hear, everything that you feel in your body from the tip of your head down to your feet, the breath. And even if there's thoughts appearing during Zazen, you can also allow those thoughts to appear. It's just that you might want to take care that you don't follow the thoughts. So don't jump onto these thoughts and allow the thoughts to carry you with them. But rather, when thoughts appear, notice the thoughts, but don't follow them. Also, don't try to cut them off, because once the thoughts have appeared, it's too late to cut them off. You don't have to cut them off. Just realize, oh, I'm thinking, but don't follow the thoughts. Don't kind of write on the thoughts, so to speak. And if that should happen, that you are following the thoughts and you're not here anymore, but you're thinking about yesterday or about tomorrow, the moment you realize that, you simply return to what's happening right now in this moment. The easiest way to do that is to just be aware of your breath. Am I breathing in or am I breathing out? And for a while, you might want to just follow the breath. Or you can also continue to do that the whole half an hour if you want to. Or after a while, you can also widen the focus of your attention again. Be aware of what you see, what you hear, of the whole physical sensation.
当你找到身体重心以后，让你的脊椎放松、垂直，肩膀要放下来，眼睛，我们在传统的坐禅的方法是眼睛要半睁，然后眼皮要放下来，就是感觉你现在的感觉，感受你的呼吸，不要跟着想法走。要让想法，就是我们之前说过好几次了，让想法在你的头脑里面穿过、走过，不要跟着想法走。然后，不管你是想到了昨天还是明天，要意识到要回到现在，回到现在的呼吸，你是在吸气还是在吐气？你现在看到了什么？然后你现在在做什么？要回到现在的感觉啊，不要跟着自己的想法走。
Okay, let's start. Thank you very much. Usually during these Zen and Zazen classes, I'm switching between talking about a koan and then the following week talking about the quotes by Kodo Sawaki. But this week I want to continue with the Sawaki quotes, and next week come back to a koan. But before I read the quotes by Sawaki, I want to explain the calligraphy. This is different calligraphy from 2 weeks ago. This one was presented to me about 25 years ago. At the time, I was the first monk in Antaiji, and I did what is called Dharma combat ceremony. A ceremony where for 3 months you have to be the leader of the other monks and you have to answer their questions.
老师在一般的情况下，我们这个课呢，就是一节课讲那本英文的那本书 To You， 然后一节课讲我们中文的那本书，就是幕后老师那本书。但是这个星期呢，老师想继续讲，就是我们上一次 To You 那本书。在分享这本书之前呢，他想先讲一下，就是他后面那幅画的意思跟之前他给咱们介绍那幅画不一样了。这幅画是他25年以前，他是安泰寺第一个和尚，然后他们有一个会，就是有一个仪式，然后就是老师问问题，然后你来回答，看谁可以做这个。就是这次他们那会儿有3个和尚，谁可以做这第一个？就这个和尚里面的那个领头的那个人啊。
At that time, it was in 1998. I was living in Antaiji, but the ceremony itself was done in a different temple in a prefecture that's called Tottori. And this calligraphy was painted by a priest that was connected to that temple. And I want to explain the meaning. Well, this is probably Bodhidharma. So Bodhidharma is the Zen monk who brought Zen from India to China. And these characters here, in Japanese, you would read it Saiten Tochi. Sai is western heavens. Tochi is the eastern earth. And usually that refers to India and China. So India and China, Buppo Fuden. The Buddha Dharma is nowhere transmitted. So you can go to India, you can go to China, you will nowhere you can find the Buddha Dharma. The Buddha Dharma has been transmitted nowhere. Actually, there are lots of famous koans that are centered around the question, why did Bodhidharma go from India to China? Because it's often said that Zen cannot be expressed in words, and that reality as it is already an expression of the truth. But if that's the case, why would Bodhidharma go from India to China? That's a famous question, and there are many different answers. For example, I think it was Joshu, in Chinese Chaoshu, who, for example, he said, the cypress tree in the garden. Maybe he was standing in the garden, he saw this cypress tree in front of him, and he said, that's the answer. That's what Bodhidharma wanted to transmit. Anyway, here it says, Western heavens, Eastern earth. There's no Buddha Dharma transmitted anywhere.
然后这幅画就是在老师他年轻的时候，那是1998年，他在安泰寺，然后他们就是那个仪式的时候呢，不是在安泰寺，是在安泰寺，是在鸟取县的一个庙。然后呢，这幅画呢是鸟取县那个他们当时有举行那个仪式的那个主持给他画的。然后这幅画第一句话，西天东地佛法不传，其实这个西天东地指的就是印度还有中国，然后佛法不传指的是没有不能传播，就是在印度还是中国都不能传播佛法。有好几种说法，就是对这个解释，因为佛法是不能 言传的，只能身受不能言传，就好像那个树叫什么树啊？就像那个圆的里边那个树，大树成荫一样，它是长出来的，然后你能够感受到，它不是你几句话能说出来的。这个是赵州，就是那个赵州和尚，我们之前分析过他那个公案，这是他的一个解释。当然有好几种解释，这是其中的一种。
And the second line in Japanese, you would read it "Kyokyo Laiya Fugetsu Seien," which means when you return home. So maybe we're going to India, you were going to China, you were looking everywhere for the Buddha Dharma, you couldn't find it. When you return home, the wind and the moon are fresh and, well, clear, fresh, and round. So the thing that you had been always looking for, once you return home and you see the moon in the sky and you feel the wind, oh, that's what I was looking for. I think that's what's meant by this calligraphy and the poem.
然后第二句是归去来也风月清圆，就是你看你去印度去中国想去找佛法，但是没有找到。当你回家的时候，归去来也就是当你回到家的时候，抬头看到月亮特别圆，然后风特别清爽的时候，哦，原来这个就是我要寻找的佛法。
But I also want to read a few quotes by Kodo Sawaki from this book to you. It's page 9 in the printed version. The first quote goes as follows. Some children have caught a mouse and now it's writhing in the trap. They are having fun watching how it scrapes its nose till it bleeds, and how it rips up its tail. Then, in the end, they'll throw it to the cat for food. If I was sitting in the mouse's place, I'd say to myself, you damn humans won't have any fun with me, and I'd simply sit zazen.
然后这个是我们这本书的第9页，我简单的翻译一下啊，就是有一些孩子们，他抓了一个老鼠，然后呢，把它放在自己的那个可以看的那个陷阱里边，看到那个老鼠在里面扭动，他们，在看老鼠一直在蹭自己的鼻子，一直蹭到流血，或者是在咬自己的尾巴，来取乐啊，来看这个老鼠折磨自己，在取乐，然后在最后的最后呢，觉得没有意思了，就把这个老鼠丢给猫做食物，然后 Sawaki 那个老师就说，如果我是那个老鼠的话，如果我在他的这个位置上，我会告诉我自己，你们这些愚蠢的人类不要拿我来取乐，我会简单的坐下来打坐。
Now that I read this story with the mouse in the trap, I'm reminded of a very small, I think it's called Small Fable by, do you say Franz Kafka in English as well? Kafka, who wrote that famous Metamorphosis. One morning he wakes up and he's turned into an insect. There is a very small short story. I think it's called Small Fable in English, and I don't remember it by heart, but it goes something like this. The mouse said, when I was young, the world was so big, but now I can see walls left and right, and the more I run, the narrower it gets, and I can already see the corner. I can already see the corner where things come to an end. And the cat says, you only have to change the direction you're running, and swallowed the mouse.
然后老师读到这儿的时候呢，他想到那个就是卡夫卡的有一个小说《变形记》哈，他睡了一宿觉之后起来之后自己变成了一个虫子，就是那个故事里面呢有一只 有个老鼠和猫，然后他们两个的对话。那个老鼠说，在他小的时候呢，觉得这个世界特别大，然后没有尽头。然后那个猫说，其实你转过来，转过身子来，你就能看到那个，就是你的洞在哪儿，墙在哪儿。大概其意思就是说，那个在你小的时候，你觉得世界很大，可是你长大之后，其实世界就变小了。
The story that Sawaki tells about the mouse in the trap being tormented by the kids, and the story that Kafka tells with the mouse and the cat are quite different. But I think there's the similarity. You have to change your attitude. When you change the attitude, everything changes. And I guess that Kafka wanted to say something completely different. But what I take out of Kafka's story is that actually, when you change the direction you're running and you allow the cat to swallow you up, you allow the cat to swallow you, you realize, actually, I'm the cat. I'm the cat. I was the cat from the start. It's just that I thought, I'm the small mouse, and the world is so small, and the world is getting smaller and smaller every day. And the moment you change the perspective and you already think, oh, this cat will kill me, but you allow the cat to swallow you, you realize, oh, maybe not, you're not a cat, but actually you're the tiger that's returning to the mountain. That was written on the calligraphy we had here 2 weeks ago. I'm the tiger. I thought I was the mouse. I'm the tiger.
然后就是泽木老师，就是 Sawaki 老师，我们刚才读的那个，他说的那个老鼠那个故事，还有就是老师刚才讲卡夫卡那个里面讲的猫和老鼠的那个故事，可能卡夫卡有他自己的认识和理解哈，但是幕后老师他的理解是，老鼠呢，他觉得就是世界越来越小，越来越小。当一个猫来追它的时候，它觉得这个世界特别小，它没有地方可以藏哈，没有地方可以跑。但是其实如果它放下自己，转换一个角度，就是让那个猫吃掉你，可能你就变成那个猫了，或者是你可能就是老虎。你可能不是那个老鼠，你可能是那个猫，或者是比猫更强大的老鼠。就像我们刚才就是老师刚才讲的后边的这幅画一样，你去找佛法，你去印度、去中国、去世界各地找。其实当你回家的时候，你安静下心来，抬头看到月亮，看到风吹过来的时候，原来这个就是佛法。就是你要改变你的态度，改变你的角度，事情可能就有所变化。
Actually, I wanted to read some more quotes from Sawaki, but it's already 8:45. So I will stop talking now. And as always, if you have questions, if you have your own opinion, please feel welcome to speak.
本来老师计划多读一些这个文章，但是现在时间可能不够了，我们今天就读这一点儿。然后大家有问题跟以前一样可以提啊，或者参加讨论都可以。
Questions, anybody? Aiko, please.
Hi. I hope you can hear me. My cam just stopped, but anyway. In the beginning, before we started Zazen, you said it's like a boat and the anchor is going down.
Yes.
And until it hits the bottom, and then you have the stability. What if there is no bottom? What if it is maybe like a spaceship in the center of the universe, and the anchor is dropping, but there is no bottom? So what if there is no bottom? That's my question. And also, I don't understand the story with the mouse and the cat. And I turn around and change the direction, I see just the cat. But I don't know that I am the cat. Anyway. Yeah, that's it.
So if there's no bottom, I mean, you just continue to let the anchor down. Let it down, let it down, let it down. Also, what I try to say with this example, even if you have the feeling that there is a bottom, the ship up there will never be completely fixed. Like when the ocean is moving, the ship will also be moving. There's always some kind of movement up there, but the anchor gives you stability. So, I mean, regardless if there's a bottom or there's no bottom, just let the anchor down. With that metaphor with a mouse and the cat, I think we're sometimes, or probably all of us know the situation where we feel that we're in a corner and we are threatened by some kind of cat. Maybe it's a person, maybe it's a situation in our life that threatens us, but there's nowhere we can escape to. We've lost all our escape routes. And I think sometimes, changing the direction in this case means that rather than trying to escape, you open yourself up to that situation. What I said, you allow the cat to swallow you. You don't try to escape the cat, but you say, here, you have me, please. You offer yourself to the cat, and then when the cat swallows you, it's like there's actually a famous phrase by, I think, some Tibetan teacher that says, and it's pretty close to what you said in the beginning, the bad news is you're in free fall. You're falling. And the good news is there's no floor to hit. You're falling, but there's no floor to hit. And in the case of this cat, is the bad news is it's swallowing you. It's going to swallow you. But the good news is you're the cat. You are the cat. So there's really not much to worry about. But to really have this realization, you first have to allow the cat to swallow you. And usually we don't want that to happen. We try to escape somewhere. But once you accept your situation, you might realize, but there's no problem. There's no problem. It's just that I made a problem out of it. I said, but the story of my life is not supposed to be that way. But once you accept the new story or the development, the life as it unfolds, you realize, and where's the problem? Where's the problem?
刚才那个朋友他提了2个问题啊，一个就是一开始我们开始打坐之前，老师说你要感觉好像你是一个船，然后把你的毛沉到底下去。虽然你上面一直在浮动、在飘动，但是你的毛是在下面的，所以你是有根基的。然后刚才那个朋友说，那要是没有底怎么办呢？那是没有底的话怎么办呢？然后老师说，没有底的话，你就让你的毛一直往下沉，一直往下沉，一直往下沉，因为这个船是不可能停在那儿的，船是不可能一动不动的，是因为你的能力和定力让船一直浮在上面，但是它只是浮在上面，它会一直摇晃，它不是就在上面定在那儿的，没有底也没关系，你就让你的毛一直下去，一直沉下去。然后刚才那个朋友说，刚才那个猫和老鼠的那个故事他不太明白，然后老师说怎么我就让老鼠吃掉我之后我就变成猫了哈。老师说其实就是让我们换一个角度来看问题，我们在生活当中肯定会有这种情况，就是不管是一只猫把你逼到那个角落那谁的猫哈，不管是未来的猫，不管是猫把你逼到一个角落，还是可能你有个什么事情把你逼到一个角落，或者一个人把你逼到一个角落的时候，不要想到逃跑，因为不要想到逃跑，你要想到转变一个方向，你可能就有另外一片天空了。你就让猫来吃掉你，让猫吃掉你之后，你就变成了那只猫。 然后当你逃避一个问题的时候，这个问题永远存在。当你不再逃避的时候，这个问题就不是问题了，这个问题就不存在了，你就和这个问题在一起了。所以逃避是不会解决问题的，你和这个问题在一起，这个问题就不在了。它是这个意思哈。然后对，就是大概就是这样。
Julian has raised his hands. Please, Julian.
Yeah, a client of mine spent 6 months in prison for something she didn't do. She was scammed and tricked, and she really was the mouse in the corner. But I think about halfway through, she decided to switch to your cat strategy. And what's incredible is how little resentment and genuinely how little anger she has about what it would have driven me crazy. And I just wanted to offer that as an example of that, mouse becoming the cat's food. It was an incredible thing to witness. So I just wanted to contribute that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other things you want to share or questions that you would like to ask? Liat, please.
Hi.
Hi.
I wanted to say that there is the situations in life and the reality, and there is the actual point that you meet the death, which we didn't met yet because we are all here. So I can relate to everything because about what you said, but there are situations when death is coming, and this is maybe a little different from the story, but the reality is the reality, or the being alive in whatever circumstances that I was born into, and I totally can understand. But there are situations that death is coming, and I think this is where I a little bit don't agree with the story. If I am understood, tell me if I'm understood. Maybe I can explain again.
Well, you said death is coming. So in this, like, there might be situations, for example, on Sundays, we sit in the park, and some of us, we sit at the top of the wall. And you could say, well, just jump down there, because there's nowhere to fall. You just have to give yourself up, and you will realize somebody's going to carry you. And that would be quite a misunderstanding. So, of course, Zen doesn't teach that kind of, how do you say, heedlessness. On the other hand, when death is coming, and probably nobody of us wants to die. We don't want to die. We're maybe even strongly afraid to die. Still, there's no other option. Sooner or later, we have to go through that door. We don't know what is on the other side of the door. Maybe there's nothing on the other side of the door. Maybe there's judgment on the other side of the door. Maybe we return to another life. We don't know what is on the other side of the door. So we are afraid to go through. But now if we behave like this mouse, please, 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 I don't want to go through the door, we will be miserable the moment we pass, and we're going to be dragged through the door either way. So I think even in that moment, you don't know what is on the other side of the door, but when death comes, you have to pass the door. You have to pass the door. So
I have a funny analogy. I'm not sure I'm going to be understood, but there is a character in Seinfeld. Maybe some of the people saw it. There is a character there named Kramer, And the character there, when they're all going down in the airplane, is shouting, I'm ready, glory, glory, hallelujah. And I love it. I wish it for myself, you know, when it comes, I wish I could say that, you know, but I'm not sure I'm going to be Kramer in that situation.
I think nobody of us can be sure, but we can at least realize that there's no point in doing the other way around. Like, I have a right to live for another 10 years. Nobody has a right to kill me, or it's not supposed to be like that, and kind of be miserable the last moments of my life. There's no reason to shout hallelujah if you don't feel like it, but at least, we have to pass through that door sooner or later anyway, so we should probably do it in the most relaxed way we can, and maybe even prepare ourselves already for it, even if it's 20, 30 years ahead. There's no reason to hurry. There's no reason to hurry to get through that door, but there's also no reason to pretend we'll never pass through that door, or we're going to be the last ones. Everybody else is going to pass before us.
I think death is the one of the main thing that I love life, and I have no. I hope I'm not misunderstood. It's not about living life or jumping for somewhere, but there are situations in life, and that's what I meant. And I really, really love that analogy with Kramer, because I think if I wish for myself something that, okay, let's do that. If there is nothing else to do.
Do you have any other questions? Anything else you would like to share?
一会儿我再那个跟大家翻译刚才那两个朋友那个话啊，然后大家现在还有问题吗？可以提。
Actually, here in Japan, it's exactly 9 o'clock. So if you don't have anything else, it would be time to finish. And next week, same time, same place. Next week, maybe I come back to a koan. And then in 2 weeks, Sawaki again. And in 3 weeks, it's Xuan teaching breathing technique and meditation on the 30th. So thank you very much for participating. Have a nice week. And if you like, see you again next Monday. Thank you, Xuan, for translating. Thank you, everybody, for your participation.
Thank you. 想听翻译的同学稍微留一下，我可以帮你们把后边的翻译一下啊。